This time on Movie Show Plus. Tom Santilli honors Fred Rogers and reviews the new documentary, Won't You Be My Neighbor?
Mr. Rogers?
Yeah.
I want to tell you something.
What would you like to tell?
I like you.
I like you, my dear.
Greg Russell takes part in an epic game of tag.
I know why I'm here, but Leslie!
And we'll give you your first look at First Man. All that, plus a whole lot more, coming up on Movie Show Plus.
The greatest thing that we can do is to help somebody know that they're loved and capable of loving.
I will build something that nobody can destroy.
John Gotti is such an iconic person, and obviously my Johnny is an iconic person playing another icon, so it was amazing. It was really an adventure.
Initially, it was presented to me over 7 years ago. It was a fabulous modern day character that I felt it would be a challenge to pull off. And then I persisted through many incarnations, different actors, different directors, different scripts. But finally we got the right meld of gangster life and family life that tells the story accurately of this modern day historical character.
Mrs. Gotti, do you know what your husband does for a living?
He provides.
And that's what's hot in Hollywood.
Susan, you take Jerry to be your husband.
What's the difference between Episcopalian and Lutheran?
Episcopalians don't eat fish.
That's pescatarian. That's not a religion.
They're all fanatics. I don't know. You may kiss the bride.
I love you.
Please tell me what's going on here.
Our group of friends has been playing the same game of tag for 30 years.
What?
For the entire month of May, every year, we play tag. You pushed me.
Part of what's aspirational about this movie is that these guys love this game so much, which is really just a sort of offspring of how much they love each other and love being together and messing with each other and having fun together.
You come up with great plans on how to possibly get him down.
Well, you know, there's the challenges in sort of tweaking the rules or finding a way around the rules or whatever, and you know, given the history of these guys and the lengths that the real guys have actually gone to, those stories we actually got to meet some of those guys too, and but life's too short, you know, have fun while you're at it.
Your guy is almost like the super spy as far as the way he has his moves.
Right. Yeah, I suppose. It's it was fun to explore that. It was a lot of fun, man. I just really enjoyed the idea of the competitiveness of it, and then that it is just rooted in 5-year-old ridiculous behavior, and you know that there's something really refraining in that, so you can kind of explore lots of parts of yourself that sometimes we sort of let go of in the past.
Our buddy Jerry is the best that ever played, and now he wants to retire. Never been tagged. Just saying. So who's it? You can't touch this. This is the year we get Jerry. You can't touch this. Synchronize your watches.
I don't know how to do that.
I don't wear a watch.
Time is a construct.
Detroit!
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 That's
what
right.
they say when you say Detroit in America. The people in Detroit, they call it Detroit.
Really? I didn't know that.
Well, you speak French.
No French name, yeah.
Yes.
So
Detroit.
Detroit.
Right.
that is us.
I feel like I love it.
Got a great idea, like to give away tickets. I'll tell people, come meet me, tag me, I get you to give you.
By the way,
tickets
you
the
have to do
movie.
Tag You're It.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's it. Did you like the movie?
Oh, I enjoyed the heck out of this thing because it's one of those things where we all think, yeah, when we get older, you grow up. You
gotta grow up.
You don't grow up. You still do those funny things with your friends.
Be adult.
That's right. Yeah, and it's like, what does that mean?
I know, what does that mean? And it's like, I feel like you'll live a happier life and a longer life if you remember to have a little bit of fun. I mean, I think there is something of like, I was just visiting some friends in South Carolina, in Charleston, and we went out and it was my sister and Sam and our friend David, and we were riding bikes all over, but like maniacs, like children. Yeah. Probably the city probably hated us, but we had such an amazing time. And I was like, you feel better when you do those things.
That's what this film is. It's such a celebration of friendship. And I know why I'm here, but Leslie.
I mean, I'm talking about playing games and having fun. And I feel like Detroit got a shout out.
That's right. Tag 2, Detroit. I like that. I like that.
Get up! I'm gonna keep on trying.
Eat my
balls.
butt. Ice cream.
What?
He knows I'm lactose intolerant. He's taunting me.
Don't you know I'm gonna make it with my
Check out MovieShowPlus.com to watch this episode online and for exclusive content, extended interviews with Greg Russell, and a complete archive of movie reviews with Tom Santilli. Also, make sure to like and follow us on social media and on our Movie Show Plus YouTube channel.
A Dream Limousine continues to be Metro Detroit's finest luxury transportation service. 734-542-6800. Offering late model luxury SUVs to brand new party buses that seat up to 34 passengers. 734-542-6800. Including the one-of-a-kind Escalade Stretch with the exciting jet door. Call 734-542-6800. That's 734-542-6800. A Dream Limousine.
I sincerely hope I shall always be a credit to my race and to the motion picture industry. My heart is too full to tell you just how I feel. And may I say thank you and God bless you.
The West that was won by its pioneers, settlers, adventurers is long gone now. Yet it is theirs forever.
Important disclaimer. Any and all views and or opinions expressed by me, Tom Santilli, are fully my own and do not necessarily reflect the views and or opinions of Movie Show Plus, any other critic on the show, or anybody else associated with this program. Further, regardless of the letter grade a movie gets, I strongly encourage all viewers and followers to go see each and every movie that I review. in theaters and on streaming when appropriate, and support your local movie-going establishments. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you. So let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Would you please? Would you please? Please, won't you be my neighbor? Oh, I have something so special for you today. We're going to go to the Maple Theater in Bloomfield Township and visit a couple of my friends. Come along.
The Maple Theater opened in 1977, and it was not really successful in the very beginning, and it played commercial films. In fact, I personally saw Grease here 6 times in 1978. It then became an art house. Eventually, the best combination came with high-end commercial, independent film, and foreign films. When we would play those kinds of movies, we seemed to attract everybody, and it became a very, very popular location, and it's been popular for 40 years. Today, the Maple Theater and Kitchen now has a coffee shop, a restaurant, and a movie theater, and people just love to come here like they always have. I always say they like to see and be seen. Won't You Be My Neighbor is opening at the Maple. I love the trailer about Mr. Rogers' film. I can't wait to see it. I don't recall watching it as a child.
Really? Really?
Yes, I watched The Friendly Giant and Bozo, and Mr. Dress-Up, but I don't remember him.
Did you watch that show growing up?
Nah, I was a little too old for it.
A little too old for it? Okay. What do you remember of Fred Rogers?
Just a nice guy taking off his sweater. That's about it. Basically being a pretty good person, a nice guy, always very polite.
First of all, how old are you guys?
Old enough to remember. I miss him. He was just a calm, nice guy, and like he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would have, gotten mad about anything, which I could probably stand it, take a page or two from his book.
He was very concerned with education, and he fought hard to keep his show publicly financed. And yeah, all around upstanding guy.
Well, I mean, Mr. Rogers helped all of us grow up and taught us so much at the same time. He was such a calm dude.
Right.
He put on his hookup, his sweater, his shoes, and so I grew up watching the guy. You know how people say the TV is like your pseudo babysitter when you're a kid, but for me and my brothers and sisters, especially me because I was the youngest, they plopped me in front of Mr. Rogers almost every time it was on. So
love is at the root of everything. All learning, all relationships, love or the lack of it.
That kind of show, do you think it's something that would work in today's society?
For the right age children, yeah.
I don't know if that could exist now because there's so much kind of more caustic entertainment. I don't know if a kid's going to sit down and listen to a Mr. Rogers in a kind, almost docile way that he delivered information. But maybe the little kids would. Maybe the little ones. That's when he got me, when I was a little dude. So I'd like to think it would work in this time, but I doubt it.
Maybe the messages could stand, but it would definitely have to be played in different ways. You know, with today's kids, there's a lot of technology. Obviously, back then there wasn't a lot. And just the way they are is different. And so, you know, you could take the core message and probably still instill it with them, but it would have to be implemented in a very different way to, you know, match with the way that today's youth are versus when we were young.
He did teach us a bunch of core set of values that can be applied to anyone. I guess if there were to be a revamp, it could be done a little bit differently, but I still think that anyone can take whatever they want out of it.
Children have very deep feelings, just the way everybody does. There must be times when you do feel blue. I'm not feeling blue right now, though.
Me neither.
The Maple Theater is one of the top 10 art houses in the country, and it's right here in your neighborhood. And it's so great because we do play commercial films sometimes. We play all different kinds. We play anime, which attracts a younger crowd. We have a lot of alternative content, and there's just so much to do here. And when you come, you can park once, you can eat, you can talk, you can visit. We have a bar, and you can enjoy entertainment. So we hope you'll come see us soon.
Won't you be my neighbor? Well, I suppose it's an invitation. It's an invitation for somebody to be close to you. The greatest thing that we can do is to help somebody know that they're loved and capable of loving. Won't you please won't you be my neighbor?
Check out MovieShowPlus.com to watch this episode online and for exclusive content, extended interviews with Greg Russell, and a complete archive of movie reviews with Tom Santilli. Also, make sure to like and follow us on social media and on our Movie Show Plus YouTube channel.
Important disclaimer. Any and all views and or opinions expressed by me, Tom Santilli, are fully my own and do not necessarily reflect the views and or opinions of Movie Show Plus, any other critic on the show, or anybody else associated with this program. Further, regardless of the letter grade a movie gets, I strongly encourage all viewers and followers to go see each and every movie that I review, in theaters and on streaming when appropriate, and support your local movie-going establishments. Well, if you're watching this full episode of Movie Show Plus, you probably know by now that I have a slight obsession with Mr. Rogers, Mr. Fred Rogers. His show had a huge impact on me growing up. I watched it as a child. I remember it always came on right before Sesame Street, and it just really had an impact on me and has to this day. I now have a child myself, Clayton, and he is obsessed with Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, which is made by the Fred Rogers Company and is the existence that Fred Rogers' legacy has lived on into today's world. However, that question right there is the crux of the new film, Won't You Be My Neighbor? A documentary that I just felt was fantastic and is going to be great for any fan of Mr. Rogers, and it's going to bring back all kinds of memories for those that grew up with the man. But what this documentary does so well is it doesn't just tell the story of Mr. Rogers and his professional career and give you insight in his personal life. You hear from his children and his wife. But what it does is it takes Mr. Rogers and asks that exact question. Is he relevant today? Would he be relevant today? And further than that, was he successful in trying to influence a generation of children with this mentality? There's a lot of people, as addressed in the film, there are a lot of people that give Mr. Rogers some slack and who find him to be not a good influence because of the idea that everybody thinks that they're special now, and that's why there are team sports now that don't have any winners, and everybody is great, and there are no losers in life. Of course, anybody who watched Mr. Rogers or knows the first thing about him knows that that's not exactly what he was saying. That was not his message. It was a little bit deeper than that, and he says it better than anybody, so I'll let you watch his shows and watch interviews with him and watch this documentary to really find out what he was all about. But it addresses all of those things, and I thought that makes this documentary very timely. This isn't just a nostalgic trip down memory lane, although it is that. It also is very timely in that it addresses Mr. Rogers and all of his themes and all of the things that he tackled, and it puts it into a perspective that is so important right now in such a polarized landscape that we call our country. Won't You Be My Neighbor is a great watch. I think you will like it. I loved it. And whether or not you think that his message was a success or not, I know that for me it personally was, because it touched me. So I want you to go see this. Won't You Be My Neighbor? I give it a solid A.
You literally could have taken any kid off the corner, but you chose me. Why?
These fools in the streets acting like they got something to prove. They only want to hustle for the money and the flash. But not you. You're special.
Mr. Rogers isn't the only guy in the neighborhood this week. We have also a movie called Superfly. This is, of course, a remake of the classic blaxploitation film of the 70s. This film, though, it's directed by a guy named Director X, and he's a big music video director, and you can kind of tell this entire new movie seems like a music video, and it's people living the life. But what it kind of is missing is any sense of purpose. I'm not really sure why they wanted to remake the old Superfly. This movie itself isn't all that fly. It isn't all that super. I didn't really like it, and I give it a solid C. Of course, the biggest movie that's out this weekend is Incredibles 2, but I'm not even going to waste my time reviewing that this week, because I know you're probably going to go see it anyway with your children, so have fun at that. Let me know what you think of that movie. You guys can hit me up on Twitter at Tom Santilli. Go to the website, movieshowplus.com, and talk to me all about what you guys thought of the latest films. We got Incredibles 2, you got Superfly, and then you got Won't You Be My Neighbor. All of those coming out right before next week's big film, which is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I will see you then.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Be an inventor.
First man to walk on the moon. That'd be something.
We've chosen a job so difficult, requiring so many technological developments. We're gonna have to start from scratch.
Go and throttle up.
Only after we master these tasks do we consider trying to land on the moon.
Neil, if this flight is successful, you'll go down in history. What kind of thoughts do you have about that?
We're planning on the flight being successful.
Damn, that is a big mother.
It'll go up like a half-kiloton A-bomb if it blows.
The vehicle's not safe.
We need to fail down here so we don't fail up there.
This isn't just another trip, Neil. You're not just going to work.
Do you think you're coming back?
There are risks, but we have every intention of coming back.
Somebody got a Swiss Army knife?
Swiss Army knife? You kidding me?
Here we go.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Do you question whether the program's worth the cost in money and in lives?
You're down here and you look up and you don't think about it too much, but space exploration changes your perception. And it allows us to see things that we should have seen a long time ago.
We have serious problems.
We've got this under control.
You're a bunch of boys. You don't have anything under control.
Check out MovieShowPlus.com to watch this episode online and for exclusive content, extended interviews with Greg Russell, and a complete archive of movie reviews with Tom Santilli. Also, make sure to like and follow us on social media and on our Movie Show Plus YouTube channel. Next time on Movie Show Plus. It's all about Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, the latest blockbuster looking to take a bite out of the summer box office.
You know, it happens so often. I walk down the street and someone 20 or 30 or 40 years old will come up to me and say, "You are Mr. Rogers, aren't you?" And then they tell me about growing up with the neighborhood and how they're passing on to the children they know what they found to be important in our television work. Like expressing their feelings through music and art and dance and sports and drama and computers and writing, and invariably we end our little time together with a hug. I'm just so proud of all of you who have grown up with us, and I know how tough it is some days to look with hope and confidence on the months and years ahead. But I would like to tell you what I often told you when you were much younger. I like you just the way you are. And what's more, I'm so grateful to you for helping the children in your life to know that you'll do everything you can to keep them safe and to help them express their feelings in ways that will bring healing in many different neighborhoods. It's such a good feeling to know that we're lifelong friends.